Sundown towns. Let's talk about it. Camilla, Georgia, the county seat of Mitchell County, is 77th on the list. By 1896, Camilla was sick with Jim Crow and fits the criteria of a Jim Crow sundown town. Segregation in public spaces, schools, and housing. Terror from the hoods, the police, or citizens. Violence or worse. Let's learn history. Our ancestors were enslaved in Mitchell County. Cotton was king. There were large plantations and small plantations, and our ancestors worked from can't see to can't see in this county. Our free labor was so heavily used, we've always been the majority population in Camilla. White people in Mitchell County built great generational wealth from our ancestors' free labor. But our ancestors here understood that education, church community, and politics were the legs we needed to stand on for equality. So while enslaved, they would secretly teach each other how to read and write. Right after emancipation in 1866, churches like Bethel Missionary Baptist was founded. And shortly after emancipation, the majority black town of Camilla was ready to vote. The Freedmen's Bureau was in town to help our ancestors find their way with their newfound freedoms. By September of 1868, our ancestors were fully using their political voice in this majority black brewing Jim Crow sundown town. 33 of our ancestors had been elected to serve the Georgia Assembly, but the majority of Georgia white population did not want to see our ancestors in any position of power at all. So they came up with a plan that on September 3rd, they would get rid of all 33 of our ancestors who had been democratically voted in. Our ancestors were not having this, and on September 19th, Mr. Philip Joyner, one of the ones who was kicked out of office, decided to march from Albany to Camilla. It was a few hundred of our ancestors at that march. The goal was a political rally to let our ancestors know what happened and to come up with what to do next. But the white population of Camilla would not stand for this. The word spread that our ancestors were coming to town to have a political rally. The sheriff and an armed mob set up and waited for us to show up. Our ancestors were called radicals after forming a rally in response to them being kicked out of the Georgia Assembly. The projection. The word got to our ancestors that these folks were waiting for them, but our ancestors in Camilla had no fear and they went anyway. So come back for part 2 when we learn what happened when our ancestors got to the courthouse